सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यः ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यः वंशर्षिभ्यः महद्भ्यः नमो गुरुभ्यः। Page 24, passage number 12. स यथा सैन्दवखिल्यः उदके प्रास्तः उदकमेव अनुविरीयेत न अस्य उद्ग्रहणाय इव स्यात् यतो एतस्तु आददीत लवणम् एव एवं वा अरे इदं महद्भूतम् अनन्तम् अपारं विज्ञानघन एव एतेभ्यो भूतेभ्यः समुत्थाय तानि एव अनुविनश्यते न प्रेत्यसंज्ञा अस्ति इत्यरे ब्रवीमि इति होवाच याज्ञवल्क्यः। Bhashyakara said that there are two kinds of pralaya. One is swabhavika pralaya, like the karya merging into karanam, like a clay pot merging into clay. This is the swabhava of the effect to merge into its source. That is swabhava, like rivers merging into ocean. That is a swabhavik pralaya, swabhava, nature of the effect to merge into cause. Other is the buddhipurvaka pralaya. The pralaya the Vedantins talk about is a pralaya that is brought about by understanding or by knowledge. That pralaya of merging of rivers and ocean or effect into cause involves some action. This pralaya the Vedantins talk about of the merger by understanding. As we said yesterday, that what the eyes see here is bangle, it's likely that what the mind sees is gold, because in the mind or with understanding, it recognizes that the bangle is incidental, name and form, and that the abiding aspect of this object is gold. By that understanding, this object no more remains bangle in the mind of this one who understands, Apagat agnehe agnitvam vacharambhanam vikaranamaध्यam Three Rupani Teva Satyam in Chandogya Upanishad says that everything is made of three elements, three colors. Everything in the universe is combination of three colors. And so the teacher says, father says to the son, Shvetaketu, look at the fire. Here the red color you see in the fire belongs to the element fire. The white color in the fire you see belongs to element water. The black color that you see belongs to element earth. So colors only represent these three elements, therefore what do you think, what you call fire is nothing but the three elements. Apagat agnehe agnitvam. When you see it this way, the fire loses its fireness, meaning formerly when you saw this object, it created in you the concept of fire. With this understanding now, it creates the concept of three colors. Formerly, when you saw this object, it created the concept of bangle. With understanding now, it changes and creates the concept of gold. That's also, this is also pralaya. That bangle has merged into gold without doing anything. One is melting this bangle to gold, other is recognizing that even when it is bangle, in reality it is nothing but gold. Second kind of merger, buddhipurvakaha pralaya. So that's a pralaya or the dissolution by way of, because of the understanding or because of knowledge. So that is what Vedanta is. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything with the world to destroy it. Just recognize, even when the names and forms are there, names and forms and activity. Nama, Rupa and Kriya, that's how everything can be understood. Every object has a name and form and a function. And all of this is nothing but asti, bhati, priyam. Now that is recognized as in the mind. Then we reduce everything to asti, bhati, priyam. And this can be practiced. While the eyes are watching a name and form, the mind recognizes that what is the content is just existence, awareness, ananda. This is the pralaya that here the Bhashyakara is talking about. Avidya nirodhadvarena yo bhavati. The pralaya or the dissolution that takes place by avidya nirodha, by the elimination of ignorance, by removal of ignorance. The pralaya that takes place is the pralaya by knowledge. As I said, the pralaya that takes place with bangle by knowledge or understanding that it is gold, that's the kind of pralaya Vedantins. So they don't want to do anything about it because you don't have to. Because even when you call this object a bangle, what it is gold only. Bangle is just a notion in your mind, so you don't have to do anything, just give up the notion. When recognizing notion as notion, important is recognizing a notion as notion. Therefore, an example is given here. Sayatha saindavakilya udakai prastaha. Just as a lump of salt, when it is dropped in water, udakameva anuviliyeta, it dissolves into water. When lump of salt is dropped in water, it dissolves into water. Why is it so? Why does this lump of salt dissolve in water? Because lump of salt is nothing but water. Had there been something else, it would not dissolve. Put this bangle in the water, it won't dissolve. Because bangle is something different from water. A lump of salt dissolves in water because even when it appears to be a lump, in reality it is nothing but water. The water has become a lump by coming in contact with heat and earth. And so when you drop that lump in water, it just, returns back to its original nature, which is water. Lumpness was temporary. Lumpness was because of some reason. Reason of coming in contact with the heat and earth. So as though that water got separated from the vast water of ocean, that little quantity of water got separated from ocean, became lump and had now the individuality that I am a lump. It can feel proud that I am something, or it can feel miserable that I am nothing because I is a lump. What is ocean? Look at that. Who am I? So becoming lump or individual is the cause of all our complexes and all our sorrow. To that you can add man and woman and father and mother and this and that. Basically I am a lump and individual. Then you can add individual, father I am, mother I am, son I am, successful I am, whatever, X, Y, Z. Understand that each of these conclusion about me is the potential cause of unhappiness. The conclusion that I am father can be a cause of unhappiness. Conclusion that I am mother can be a cause of unhappiness. I told you earlier, Swami says this man remembers his son. 18-year-old young man with a broad chest. He dropped out from the school, riding a motorbike which he managed to get from his father. He doesn't button his shirt so that his vast chest can be seen. He is wearing a golden chain given by his mother, and on a motorbike from which he removed the silencer. So when father remembers his son, he has blood pressure. So just being father can be cause of sorrow, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't be anything. Being so and so is the cause of sorrow. And thus this is called lump. Ocean water becomes a lump, meaning that attains a sense of separatedness, sense of individuality, and it can feel proud that, oh, I am bigger than the other lump and I so and so forth. As long as the poor thing does not look at the ocean and recognize what its true nature is. Sayatha saindavakhilyaha udake prastaha udakam eva anuviliyata, because even when it is lump, in reality is nothing but the water solidified into lump, understand? That's the reason why when it's put in water, it dissolves. Had the lump possessed anything other than water, then that part would remain. The fact that the lump completely dissolves in water means that even when it is lump, it is nothing but water. Isn't it? Otherwise, suppose you put a gold coin or something, that part will remain. But since it is nothing but water, it dissolves in water. So even when it looks like a lump, it is water. Swamiji, now go ahead, proceed further. But we all like a lump. I am a lump. Swami so and so is a lump. I can feel proud that I am sitting here and you are sitting there and stuff like that, all this. But basically a lump is a lump regardless of this much or that, whatever, with reference to ocean, it is insignificantly small. Therefore, I never become free from the sense of insignificance. That I am insignificant, I never become free from that notion. And regardless of what I do, I can add a few things in my lumpness. I can add a few ornaments there, a few clothes there, and a few other things, to look better than other lump. I can do various things to myself. Regardless of what, a lumpness will never go. And therefore, the sadness that arose from the idea of lumpness will never go, regardless of what I do with the lump. That's how life is, by the way. That a less wealthy person becomes wealthy, a less known person becomes well known. Thus, we change ourselves to become successful. But a wealthy person also is nothing but a little bigger lump. Regardless of what I do, I can never become free from the idea of lumpness or individuality or separateness or smallness. Is it not so? And how small I am? Really speaking, I am insignificant compared to the infinite, which is my true nature. So this is how the Upanishad explains the cause of misery in our life. Nothing else is cause of misery only. Oh Swamiji, I have brought my samsara with me. What is samsara? His samsara is wife and 3 children. That's not samsara. It may have become samsara, but then what is samsara is not out there. Samsara is my notion of being a lump, being an individual. And as an individual, I try to become bigger and better and stronger and all kinds of things I do in order to feel good about myself. And that may happen for a while when I do better than others and I'm back to where I was. So thus Upanishad explains that being a lump, which means I am small and I am separate from the ocean, separate from other lumps, and I am small and individual, is the cause of misery. To that you can add in, if failed in past, and you can add other things onto that. But even if he passes and gets all secures all A's and he passes all exams and gets all kinds of, awards and so forth, but still the lumpiness does not go, understand? Poor human being does not realize what the true cause of his unhappiness is. He thinks that I am unhappy because I don't look like someone else. I am unhappy because I am not as tall as someone else. I am not as smart as someone else, not as good looking as, etc., etc. Even if I change and become better looking, smarter, this, that, the lumpiness will never go, the sense of insignificance will never go. The only way the lumpiness goes is when the lump is dropped back in water. Then all you find is salt from wherever you taste. You cannot find lump anymore because even when it was lump, it was not different from water. Had it been different from water, it would not have dissolved in water. Is it not so? If the lump was different from water, then like this one, put in water, it remains what it is, like Bengal. But this lump of salt it merges into water because even when it is lump, in reality it is water. Is it not so? That water, because of contact with the earth and heat, became a lump. Here this self because of the contact with ignorance. So that is the idea here. Evam vare idam mahadbhutaman aparam vijnana ganaiva. So, this is page 24. Look at the line number 23 on the page 24. Yatha ayam drishtantah, just as this illustration of dropping a lump into water. The lump dissolves into water, and then whenever you taste, it is only salt. The lump separate exists, the lump no more remains when it is dropped in water. It is source. What is water? Water is the source of lump. Because that very water, because of contact with heat and earth, became lump. When lump is dropped in water, it is dropped into its source, meaning that it becomes one with its source. Yatha ayam drishtantah evameva. Are Maitreyi idam mahadbhutam. So this mahadbhutam, mahat means great, infinite, bhuta means reality, this infinite reality. Hey Maitreyi, what has happened to you is you have become like a lump called Maitreyi. Was as though separated from the Mahatbhutam, the limitless being, avidya parichinna sati. So this is Vedanta's explanation of cause of sorrow. Every school of thought will give its own reason for the sorrow for human being, and they will then prescribe the means of removing their sorrow. But then most other people take the cause of sorrow as real. So the real cause out there because of which I am sad, and therefore I must do something there to become free from sadness. Or the cause is within me, I must do something within to become free from cause of sadness. Vedanta says that sadness is not a reality about you, it is only a notion that is there in you because you think you are a lump. Therefore, avidya parichinna sati. So Maitreyi is compared to a lump. A lump separates from ocean. What is ocean? Limitless, boundless. Asmad mahato bhutat. This from this limitless being which is consciousness, the prajna, Maitreyi is as though separated. Here in case of the lump of salt, the separation is an objective reality. So we don't have to apply all the elements of the illustration to what is illustrated. In case of human being, the cause of separation from the limitless is avidya. Ignorance is the cause of the notion of separation. We can never become separated from limitless because that is called limitless, always inclusive. Meaning that even when we look upon ourselves as limited, we are not separated from limitless. You know the story of 10th man. Even when the 10th man thinks that the 10th man is lost, and I am not the 10th man, even then he is 10th man. That is most important. And so when I think that I am a lump, a limited one, separated, then also thank God that I remain the anantam, the boundless, limitless ocean of consciousness. Avidya parichinna sati karya karanopadi sambandhat khilya bhavam apannasi. Hey Maitreyi, you attain a state of being a limited being because of the association with this body, mind, sense complex. How can consciousness have association with this gross, tangible body, mind, sense complex? Remember yesterday we started saying there is this entity called Ghatakasha, the pot space. Really speaking, space cannot have any connection with part. Space is subtle and all pervasive, and therefore space can't be connected. How do you tie up the space with part? With ropes or something? How do you tie up? Means the part space looks like space is tied with part. Space is confined to part. But it is what? It is just a notion. Space has no relationship with the part. Part cannot confine the space. In fact, there is no contact of space in the part. Because when the part moves in space, we feel that part space also moves, but it does not. What moves is only part space remains where it is, only because the space has no contact with the part. If space had some contact, then the movement of part would have bring out some effect. You do this, space will be affected some way if there was some connection. But space is not affected anyway because there is no connection between the space and part. Similarly also, no connection between consciousness, which is this in the place of space, with this part, which is body sense complex, a part, no connection. And just as the part cannot confine the space, so also this body mind cannot confine the consciousness. So even when the space thinks that I am part space, thank God that it remains the space. So even when I think that I am a small consciousness, thank God that I remain the boundless consciousness. Fortunately, even though I keep on accusing myself and branding myself constantly, I am a karta, I am a bhokta, I am sukhi, I am dukhi, I am happy, I am unhappy, I am wealthy, I am poor. Keep on constantly accusing myself. Poor thing. But Puja Swami used to say, there is one word that is used most frequently and in most wrong meaning. What is that word? I. Used most frequently and most incorrectly. Because when we use the word I, we always mean individuality. Whereas I happens to be, in fact, limitless. Therefore, says Yajnavalkya to Maitreyi that Karya, see on the page 25, first line, Karya Karana Upadi Sambandhat. Karya, this body, gross body. Karana, subtle body. Karana means instrument with which we experience. This body is a container, is a seat for containing all these equipment. Organs of perception, organs of action, mind, they need. You need an office for your telephones, internet, this, that. Similarly also, this is alayam, this is just a container or the locus of this subtle body. Hey Maitreyi, on account of your association with this karya karana sanghata, meaning this complex of the gross and the subtle body. What is subtle body? Consists of mind, intellect, organs of perception, organs of action. How many elements are there in subtle body? Sukshma Sharira has how many elements? 70? 17, I know. I know you said 17, but anyway. Five organs of perception, 5 organs of action, 5 prana, manaha and buddhi, 17. Depends on how you want to count. But this is simply a tool given to me to perform my functions. This body is given to me as a place of residence. And this subtle body, meaning the Sukshma Sharira called Karana, the organs of perception, mind, intellect, they are all instruments given to me for interaction with the world. That's all. So do that. The unfortunate thing is that I am the body and I am the mind, I am the intellect. The problem is that I identify with that. Otherwise, this is a very beautiful thing Bhagavan has given us. Go to the world, function with this, do your job, make your contribution. But here, instead of becoming a contributor, I become a needy person because I am a body and so small. Everything makes me so small and insignificant that I become a needy entity. Anyway, Martya, Janma Marana, Ashanaya, Pipasadi, Samsara, Dharmavati Asi. Hey Maitreyi, on account of identifying the body, you have as to become mortal. Because how long you are alive? As long as the body is. When the body dies, I also die, and therefore I am a mortal being. Ashanaya, Pipasa, Janma Marana. They belong to what? Gross body. Ashanaya, Pipasa, hunger and thirst belong to what? To prana. Hunger and thirst belong to prana. Shoka and moha, gross delusion, sadness belongs to the mind. Hunger and thirst belong to prana. Old age and death belong to the gross body. And grief and sadness belong to the mind. So this is what Maitreyi you have become. You who in reality are the nature of ocean or boundless consciousness, who has been given this upadhi for functioning, but you have done the impossible thing, and that is identify with this and brand yourself as a limited entity, limited by the body, the mind, sense organs. Na rupa karyatmika, you have become a name and form and function. I said yesterday, everything can be classified as name and form and function. That's I am a name and form and function. Amushya anvayahamiti. I am the daughter of so and so, Maitreyi. This is what you have become? I am a daughter of so. I am Swamiji, no? This body is the daughter of so and so. You, the conscious, not a daughter of so and so. Amushya anvayahamiti. Thus you have become like a lump of salt. This is the lump of salt. Individual. Sakilya bhava. So this is how the example of lump of salt is explained by Bhashyakara as to how that ocean feels a lump of salt because of the association with heat and earth. So also the limitless consciousness in place of ocean feels like a lump of consciousness, like a spark of consciousness, like a little conscious being on account of its association with the gross and subtle bodies. Sakhilya bhavastava kaya karana upadhi samparka bhranti janita. That I am a small limited entity is bhranti or delusion because of equating yourself with this body and mind and sense organs. So this is the state. Now what do we need to do? Drop that back into the simple thing is lump is drop back into the ocean water. So drop Maitreyi back into ocean of consciousness, is it not so? The example is that the lump of salt is dropped into water, so it becomes water. Now Maitreyi is lump of consciousness, and therefore she should be dropped in the ocean of consciousness. Yes, That is how it is, except matter of dropping is different. Dropping in case of the lump of salt is an action. Maitreyi is not to be dropped in ocean as an action. So that is where the similarity of the illustration illustrated are different. In every way they are not equal. महति भूते स्वयोनौ महासमुद्रस्थानीये परमात्मने. Maitreyi, you have to be dropped into this Mahasamudra, the ocean, the great ocean that is Paramatma. Ajare, Amare, Abhaye, Shuddhe. You are free from death, free from decrepitude. You are fearless, pure, and homogeneous consciousness. Prajnana Ghana, you are the homogeneous consciousness, Prajnana Ghana. Anante, Apare, Nirantare, you are Ananta, free from end limitation. Apare, you are boundless. Nirantare, you are always continuous self. Avidya Janita, Bhranti Bhedavarjite, Praveshitaha. Hey Maitreyi, you are the lump of consciousness. You have to be dropped into the ocean of consciousness. That's all. How do Swamiji, should I dive into the ocean of consciousness? What should I do? You say the lump is dropped into the water. How does this lump of consciousness, how is it dropped in the ocean of consciousness? Is not an action. Is by recognizing that the lumpness is a notion and the reality about me is conscious. Is by knowledge that this happens. So that is an example of actual dropping. Here there is no dropping involved. But Maitreyi made to merge into the ocean of consciousness is Maitreyi made to understand that, hey Maitreyi, even when you think that you are a small limited entity, in fact, you are that boundless consciousness. You and I are all Maitreyi, by the way. Yajnavalkya is saying to Maitreyi, he is telling us also. Maitreyi was a woman, that doesn't matter. He's an individual, human being who has ignorance and thereby entertaining various notions, who is intelligent enough to recognize the nature of notion as notion. That one intelligence we should have. And we have. Though this is notion. Bengal is a notion, the reality is gold, so also the smallness, limitedness, lumpness is a notion, and vastness is a reality. Avidya janata bhranti bhedavajire praveshitaha. You, the lump, is made to enter. Tasmin pravishte swayonigraste khilyabhave avidyakrute. When you drop that lump in the water absorbs that lumpness. When you drop that lump in the water absorbs or swallows the lumpness. So when Maitreyi is dropped in the ocean of consciousness, that swallows the smallness by virtue of knowledge that, in fact, even when I think I am small, in reality I am nothing but the ocean of consciousness. Idam ekamadvaitam mahat bhutam. Mahat means great. Bhutam means reality, this great reality, limitless reality. Anantam aparam vijnana gana. Anantam without limitation, aparam without the boundaries, vijnana gana, nothing but the pure consciousness. So, in Maitreyi, this is what is meant by dropping is recognizing that this is what you are. Fortunately, by thinking that I am limited, I have not become limited. There's saving grace here. Thinking that I am a Jivatma, I am a limited being, I am miserable, I am so and so and so. I have not become that. I remain the limitless. Just as the 10th man thinks that the 10th man is lost. Searching for the 10th man. Even when he thinks that 10th man is lost, thank God he is not lost. If by branding that the 10th man is lost, if 10th man gets lost, then there is no hope. By branding that I am a Jiva, then I become Jiva, no hope. There is no becoming. It's only notion. Now, if you look at the line number 14 on this page 25, a question is asked here. Yadi idam ekam advaitam paramata swacham samsaraduk asampruktam. Oh, Venerable Sir, as you say, this one non-dual self, Paramasatah Swacham, absolutely clear and clean and pure, samsara, and that the dukkha of samsara does not touch the self. Even when I think that I am unhappy, understand that unhappiness does not touch me. That's a good aspect of it. When I think that I am miserable, understand that misery does not touch I. I have made an impassable thing happen. I am miserable. What I have done, I am and miserable are lumped together. Remember, I am unhappy. I am unhappy is one sentence. Grammatically, you know what this sentence means, that I am unhappy and the same case, same alignment. Therefore, unhappy is the nature of I am. I am unhappy. But that's not so. I am is not unhappy. Where does unhappiness belong, I say I am unhappy. I know it's a little late and after a good amount of breakfast, etc., this is a difficult class. These people give a lot of food and good food also. And therefore, after eating the breakfast, etc., it's difficult to keep our eyes open or the mind open. And I'm asking somewhat difficult questions also. I say, I am unhappy. Now it has two elements, I am and unhappy. I am is the nature of whom? I am belongs where, to the subject. Unhappy is the nature of mind. It is an object. Mind is something that I am aware of, and therefore the mind is object of my, the thoughts are object of my awareness, is not so? Yes, I know, Swami, that this man comes to Puja Swami, Swamiji, I am restless. So Swami was teasing him. You're not restless, you're all silence. Swamiji, I am restless. More he became excited. You're all silence. I am restless. You're all silence. That fellow got so excited. Swami, once more this exercise, two persons will become restless. Then Swami said, okay, you say you're restless. How do you say you're restless? I know I am restless. How do you know? My mind is restless. Your mind is restless. The restlessness belongs to mind. You are the knower of the restless mind. The knower is different from the known. Similarly also, when we say that I am unhappy, some difficulty is there? You wait, Vaishal, right?